Namaste and hello everybody. I am Vandana Joshil. I'm a storyteller, I'm an author, I'm a writer, I'm a dreamer, I'm a whole lot of things. Let me tell you all a story. And I want you to close your eyes and probably imagine as I tell you the story. Indulge me. So imagine you're a 14-year-old girl, you're going to school. You're a 14-year-old girl who's going to her music class. It's at 5:30 in the evening and the class is about 2 kilometers from your house. Because you're 14, you're going to the music class by yourself. You're dressed in a modest midi, ankle length midi. And as you're walking down the road, you see that the vegetable sellers are setting up their stalls. Women are getting ready to haggle and probably get a good bargain on vegetables for the day. So mind you, the road is not empty. There are people on the road. You're walking down the road, you're humming a tune to yourself, and suddenly you're startled. You don't know what happened. As you turn around, you see a dirty, filthy rag picker turn back, look at you, give you an eerie smile, and flex his arm. And that gives you a jolt. Because that's when you realize that filthy rag picker, in that split second when he crossed you, he grabbed your young breast, gave it a good press, and he moved on. You're jolted, you're startled because you realize you've been molested. For him, it was just any other day. But for you, it was the day you changed. Because from that day, you suddenly realized the way you look, the way you dress, the way you walk, where you walk, when you walk, all of that matters because things like these happen to you. Because you're young, you do not really talk about this to anybody. But over the course of years growing up, you face many more such incidents. And I will tell you why this matters. That incident happened to me. I was 14. And I suddenly realized that I was angry. I was irritated. I was shocked. But more than anything else, I felt helpless. I was angry at myself for not reacting. I was angry at myself for not fighting back. I was angry with the realization that I understood all of this, but I did nothing. And you know why I did nothing? Because of the way I and many of the women sitting here have been brought up. We have been brought up by parents, regular parents, who tell us, keep your head down, mind your own business, don't get into trouble, don't even think about, getting into anybody else's trouble. Just seedhe jao, seedhe aao. And that is what I was doing. I thought, maybe this is only for me, maybe this is happening only to me. Maybe it's the vibe I give out, who knows? Realization hit me that this was not just my vibe or my soch when a young 4-year-old girl from my colony, she was playing in our colony, the very same colony that I grew up in. This 4-year-old girl was grabbed, assaulted, raped in the backyard that we used to play in. And that's when I realized something. It's not the clothes we wear, it's not the way we talk, it's not the way we smile, it's not even the lecherous thoughts of these perverted men that we are talking about. It's simply because of the way we grew up. Like I mentioned, our parents tell us, keep your head down, don't get into trouble, mind your own business, don't get into anybody else's trouble, just go find your path, walk straight, come back straight. And I wanted to do something about it. I was so angry, and I thought, this is it. I have to do something. I decided to fight. Mind you, I did not fight the Rani Mukherjee Mardani kind of fight. I did not even do the Bandit Queen kind of fight. I fought it in the only way that I could, by standing up for myself. So the next time somebody tried to grab me, I would hit the handbag, I would loudly yell, so that people around me would, take action. This was me. When I would see some other girl facing something like this, I would stand up, I would go stand beside her and make her feel comfortable, that somebody is there with you. Nobody can, act funny with you. Or when I heard sexist jokes being made, when the jokes are one-off, I indulged it. But when it became too much, I stood up and I said, stop it, this is not right. This is not the way you should be talking. And so on and so forth. Like I said, I did not do the Rani Mukherjee Mardani type of fight. I fought slowly and steadily. Now cut to the year 1999, 2000. I was traveling by train. I should have been about 25, 26 at that time. I was traveling by train from Mysore to Mumbai. I was with my family, and I noticed an elderly man loitering around in the compartment that we were in. Initially, I just dismissed it. But after some time, my gut told me that there was something wrong here. This guy doesn't belong to this compartment. But you can't outright go and, accuse somebody. So I waited and I watched. I observed him. And then I realized that this guy was loitering around and sitting near the space that we were sitting in. And he was eyeing a young Marwadi bride who was diagonally opposite me. Now this young bride, she's young, she's dressed in her finery. She was unaware of her exposed midriff, of the cut of her blouse, but there was something that this man noticed, and he stood there ogling at her for as long as I could remember. I quickly brought this to the attention of the men sitting with us, not just my family, other men too. They all looked at him and looked away. And that shocked me. It made me angrier. How could you do this? So I stood up and I hit the man on his hand. And I asked him, "Kya kar rahe ho?" So he looked at me and he said, "Nahi, kuch nahi. So I said, "But aap idhar kya kar rahe ho?" So he said, "Nahi, main to Mumbai ja raha hu." So I asked him, "Aapki seat kidhar hai?" And that's when we realized that his seat was about 4 bogies down. So what was he doing here? And as soon as he said that, he realized that somebody had caught him. So he started stammering and stuttering. And so the men in the compartment, all bravado, all got up and they started heckling him. They heckled him, they shoved him, they pushed him, they took him to the TC. After this man was taken away from there, the other girls in the compartment looked at me and said, "Thank you so much. Hum bhi kafi der se usko dekh rahe the," and we were also uncomfortable. But none of them had spoken up, which was so wrong. My story doesn't start there. My story doesn't end there. That story doesn't end there. My story starts from there. From then on, I decided that, unfortunately, we really don't stand up for such things. We do not put a stop to such things. We do not even do anything about it. And so, I thought I would do it. Since then, I have stood up for myself, like I mentioned earlier. I have stopped people when they have done things like this. I have tried and corrected behavior which I think was insulting to a woman. I have connected with trainers and people who can, conduct workshops, self-defense workshops, awareness programs, wherever possible. And I think being a part of LAJA, since I am a part of LAJA, LAJA brought me to this space because somewhere the ethos and matched. LAJA wanted to do something for women, I wanted to do something for women, and that's how this alignment happened. So the end of the story really is that each of the women out here, we have all faced harassment at some point in our lives. Whether it is being pushed in the bus, whether it is being groped in the train, why even religious gatherings are not safe anymore. We all know that. But how many of us actually stand up and speak about it? Because even now, talking about being molested, talking about being touched inappropriately is not fine. You know, we don't want to talk about things like that. So it's time we start talking about it. It's time we start changing the narratives that our parents told us, that it's not right to look down and walk. It's not right to shut up when you face a challenge. It's not right to look the other way when you see somebody else facing a challenging situation. It's time that you stood up and spoke for it. And because we are talking about Nayi Soch and Naya Safar, there are a couple of lines that I've written down, and I want to read those out to you. So here goes. नए सोच का नया सफ़र, जब औरत खुद के साथ खड़ी, हर मुश्किल से आँख मिलाकर उसने अपनी पहचान गढ़ी। नए सोच का नया सफ़र, न झुकी न डरी कभी, मुश्किलों के शोर में भी औरत अपनी आवाज़ बनी। नए सोच का नया सफ़र, चुप रहना अब एक बात नहीं, ज़ख्मों से उठकर चल पड़ी ये औरत, हार की बात नहीं। ये सिर्फ चलना नहीं है अब, ये खुद के लिए जंग है। नए सोच का नया सफ़र, जहाँ औरत खुद ही के संग है। थैंक यू।